Outer Orange.
Alright guys, so I'm back. So this is the combo version. Pretty much I'm going to explain to you guys some mechanics and combos that you can do with Kairi. So we're going to go ahead and kind of talk about them here. This is for the pure build that I recently did a video on, so you can check that out as well. But here we have the Kairi deck. Talk about some mechanics. This is the I didn't Persona Ride. So what do? If you didn't Persona Ride, you can kind of keep it simple. You can use her skill, get the 10k. She's an on place 10k. And then if you really want, you can go ahead and call this out, use her skill to search for an Amelia. And you can kind of just for the free card, you can literally just stop here. You can keep this on the board. You can go something like this, swing at your opponent, swing at your at their Vanguard, grab these two, leaving this out on the board. So that way you can land some crits or potentially, you know, anything you want to land. We wanted to draw, so we would draw, give this 10k, so this goes up. And then you would finish off your opponent, or you finish your turn with going 30k into your opponent's Vanguard. And that would be kind of your security, and you actually plussed off of it as you got not only your drive check, you also got your cards back, and you pretty much got an extra card off of the drive check, but also this card wasn't originally there. Really nice as you can just kind of farm a little bit. That's kind of like your way to farm and just make it easier. But let's talk about what if you were to Persona Ride, and how would that change your entire game plan. So we're going to pretend that we just Persona Rode, so we draw, we got our extra 10k. Now this is where you got to be careful with how you set up your rear guards, as if you don't set them up carefully, you won't be able to do too much. But you can kind of, I personally what I would do is I would call this here, give this to 10k, so that would make your actual Vanguard a little bit higher, just so your opponent has to deal with guarding this attack a little bit harder. And then you can actually go ahead, something small out, so that way you can bounce it out, so then you can start out another board. So you can actually do something like this. You can call her out, she still will attack, actually she'll still hit, give 10k to your other unit, which will be this one, or you can even make it Vanguard if you really want to. But you can kind of swing at your opponent, it'll be 13 to the face, and then you can swing here, it'll be 20 to the face, and then you can go ahead and swing with your Vanguard. You can Soul Blast these two out, this card out, bounce these two, do your drive check. It's a heal, I don't know if we heal or not, it's a crit. Wow, that's actually pretty nutty. So we waited that, and keep in mind that this was 26, 36, 46 to their Vanguard, so it's actually pretty high. It's unless they PG'd it, they probably 2 to passing, in which case you're obviously going to do all effects, and that'll end game. Now since we did Persona, or not end game, but that'll push it really high. And now since we did Persona Ride, you can actually go ahead and call her out, and then you can even call, if you have a floor in hand, you can actually call a floor in hand, or if you want, you can call this out too. So, and then essentially what you can do is you can call this to extend another attack, or you can call this to make this attack beefier. You can kind of risk it, so it'll be like between these two, so that way you give the extra power to your other rear guard to make this column stronger. Or like I said, you can go this route, in which case you actually activate the skill. So first I'll do the skill first. I'll counterblast, and I'll use the skill to search for my grade 1. This will replenish the entire board again. So as you see here, we're getting a whole new column just fresh off, and then we're also getting floor skill. So floor skill actually calls another Mila, but we're not going to use Amelia's skill, obviously, since we can't actually do anything. If we counterblast for the skill, nothing happens, so we'll just leave her out there like that. But now we have a fully replenished board, and now this will be swinging for, with the Persona Ride, this will be 21, but this one will be 23 on its own, plus Persona Ride making it 33 to your Vanguard. And just like that, you had a pretty annoying attacking stuff going on the whole way through, and then you also, on top of that, had a really strong Vanguard. So your Vanguard was strong, your rear guards were strong, and it's just one of the few ways that you can kind of secure a game. Now, like I said, the downside is you have a ton of grade 3s on board, and you can't really do much with them, so you have to be very careful with what's going on. So early on, as I mentioned before in the past, if you were to ride into Kiora, you discarded something, right? So you can discard a grade 1, and you can call it back out as rest, and you give 10k to your Vanguard. If you're going second, that's like one approach you can do with your grade 1s. You can discard this out, and then call it and put it as rest, and get it set up for next turn if you want, because something that you can do is when you ride into your grade 2 and everything resets, you can try to push your opponent as quickly as possible. If you have a floor in hand or just anything of use, you can call floor out with like a top card. It's a perfect guard, I guess we can call the perfect guard there, and then you can call something like this here, give 10k maybe here, because you're probably going to bounce this perfect guard, so you may want to make this strong. And then if you want to just complete the condition of this card, you can actually call this out here. These back here now have an additional 5k on them, which makes your board just kind of annoying to deal with. And they can kind of swing, you know, this will be pretty small. There's only be 9, so hopefully it hits if they're not 10k base. Then you can swing here, use the skill to bring this perfect guard that Flora gave you back to hand, and then you can do your drive check, which is, oh, okay, heal. I don't have like random damage here, so it doesn't really matter. You can put power here for just, you know, for funsies. And then look at that, this column right here, well, this column was already pretty annoying. So this column was 1723 to their Vanguard, and this column is this column got big. It's 13, 18, 28, 38 to your opponent's Vanguard. It's just something you can do. Now keep in mind, you're not always going to hit the perfect pieces to do something like this, but it's something you can set up early. And then when you go into your Kairi turn, you can literally do nothing. And by nothing, I mean literally do nothing. Like it might be better to just not call anything and actually just straight swing. The 5k is still active on this card, so you actually still have the 5k. And then when you swing with your Vanguard, just pick them up. Just pick them up, you know, do whatever. Maybe call something here, but honestly, I wouldn't even call anything there. Do your drive check, keep it nice and simple, and just pass turn. And that way you're farming your hand while also not calling anything out, so you're not wasting like any resources. And like I mentioned before, sometimes you want to have a board like kind of empty-ish, so that way when you start doing stuff, you can actually, when you go into Persona, if you were to go into Persona, then you actually have the open rearguard circles to do stuff on. So it's just something to keep in mind. There really isn't too much else that you can do. The biggest thing I can explain when it comes to some of these combos and some of these things is very cautious of your open rearguard circles, as it plays a big role. A lot of these cards require open rearguard circle space. Also keep in mind of your counterblast. Your counterblast will go pretty fast if you see a lot of these. And like I said, Floor is a really big contender for just cool stuff that you can do. She gets you boosters, she gets you a lot of stuff, and you can just bounce, so that way you don't use your hand as much. You can just use the same rearguards that she calls out and then bounce a Kairi, and you can just keep doing that and just digging and digging until you see your Persona Ride and then deciding if you want to Persona Ride. There's some interesting stuff you can do. Your safest rearguard will always be the one back here, so you always want to put something back here that's just useful. If you want to make your Kairi super big, what you pretty much want to do, or what you can do, my favorite part about this card, the Chantal, is the fact that she's an 8k, but you can put her back here and then use her skill. Let me give myself some more counterblast. Use her skill to then give your Vanguard 5k, and then you can be even more annoying and you can be like, haha, call this out, and then you can make your Vanguard an extra 10k, and then, you know, you can call out like another rear, so you can actually call double if you want. If you're on Persona Ride, you can call double of these. Like you can do something like this if you're on Persona. So if you're literally on like normal Persona, you can call double these and then amplify your Kairi's power. Use both of these 10ks to put it on your Vanguard. These are already swinging for 13, so you already hitting. You can essentially start with baby numbers. You can bring them back when you swing with Kairi. Kairi being insanely high, by the way. She is 21, 31, 41, 51. She's 56, so 56, and then, you know, you do your drive check or whatever. Land your triggers. Apparently, I'm trigger stacking on just practicing combos here, and then, you know, you can just call out something like this, and then use her skill to bring back that, you know, do the thing I showed you earlier. Use 4 skill, look at top card, call the trigger, and then you can go like 13 to the Vanguard, and then you can go 33 to the Vanguard. So just stuff like that that you can do. Another thing I want to talk about is Ingrid. If you just recently used some counterblasts, if you were to hit Floor, like you place her, and then your top card is an Ingrid, you do countercharge off of this skill. So just a nice little baby thing that you can do. But she just also clears a nice little rear guard for you. So if you were to have her in your hand or something like that and you call her out, you open up that rear guard circle while also attacking, which is really nice stuff to do. That's what makes the ghost deck pretty good. But that's really all I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my little comboing and showing mechanics. If there's something that you see or you think would be cool to try out, go ahead and tell me in the comments below, and tell me what you do with your Kairi decks, or some weird ways you go to kind of open up rearguard circles so you can then, you know, keep going and all that stuff. So let me know, and all that jazz. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna go and head out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the combo. Please subscribe and all that fun stuff. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the future videos. So peace out. That's with Daniel. See you guys next time. Bye.